Over time, I've asked myself, what is my why? What motivates me? What keeps me going? What drives me? And what makes life meaningful? As I believe we all have our own individual things that brings meaning to our own lives. For me, as I'm discovering, it's the guitar, soccer, making these videos, and just overall just learning and just the passion for growth. For you, it could be something completely different, as we are our own individual people and just going through life and just understanding and seeing that there's more to it than just what we know or what we are taught. And a lot of times I felt like we are bound together by the belief of what we were once told or what we should do or what was put upon us in a way. These kinds of chains that restrict us. And even so, it could be past traumas or past things that it showed us, hey, this is bad, or this can happen, be careful. And it's like, because we got that certain experience or we had that bad experience, in a sense, it's like we run away from it, when in reality it's like, it's not necessarily scary, or it's not this big challenge that we make it up to believe, but in a sense it's like it's something for us to overcome. And even so, it's crazy to see how a lot of things can shape us into our adulthood. The things we were told, the things we were taught, the things we were shown, and how it affects us even growing up, and realizing that a lot of it may be subconscious, a lot of it we don't truly know and we don't truly realize, and it's internalized within us, that it's like, yo, there's a lot within us that we don't truly know. We do things and we don't know why. We may avoid things, but we don't necessarily know why. And we really have to ask ourselves, like, where does this come from? Where does it originate from? Because a lot of times it's like, it's crazy to see how many things were shown to us as we were kids. Because for an example, it's like, me personally, it's just like a small minor thing I've realized. It's like, when someone's on the phone, I don't want people to speak. Whether it's I'm on the phone or I like the environment to be silent, or when someone's on the phone, I'll turn, if there's noise playing or people talking, I'll be like quiet or just turn off the noise. Because growing up, I remember, when my dad was on the phone or he'd be on the phone, he'd be like, be quiet, like, I'm on the phone. And it was just something kind of ingrained in me. And I know that's just something small, something, that you wouldn't really recognize, but it's like, it's interesting. How deep can that rabbit hole go? How deep does what we're shown affect us now? And even so, it's like, the whole idea of like what motivates you, it's like, maybe as a kid there was things that interested us because the sheer amount of curiosity and joy for life we had growing up, and just the random things our imagination could come up with is boundless. It was boundless. Even now it's still boundless, but certain responsibilities and certain roles we have to play and things like that may constrict us or have us fit into a certain category or idea or things like that. But it's like, even so, we may not know now. Of course we're going to be different from when we're kids, what we are interested in, but it's that fact that there's interest, the fact that there's something out there that we're wanting to achieve or become, and setting some time and being able to plan it to achieve or to become, because I guess we can say it's not necessarily achieving but becoming, because it's, you want to become whatever it may be, a content creator, artist, a painter, a sculptor, an architect, a doctor, lawyer, whatever it may be, even not even on that, a father, a good person in the community, whatever it may be. It's like, how do you play into that role, or how will you go into that role? And I guess we can go into a whole idea or discussion about identity, and it's like, sometimes we do go into an identity, and what is your identity now? Who are you now? Which maybe you've probably never asked yourself that. Who am I now? What do I identify as? And it's not necessarily your job, your money, your status. It's all behind that. That's surface level. But what is behind that? You know, you strip all of that away and it's like, who are you beneath the mask? And, you know, I guess there's so much to consider because it's like, you will play out who you are in a sense where it's like, whatever your mind is, your mind state is, or what you believe and want to act upon, it's like you'll manifest it. If we want to put it into a word, you know, you want to be a good person, you'll do good deeds, you know. And even so, it's like you want to become something. It's like all you got to do is just act as if you are, and you are. If you act on it, it's like, who's to say you're not? You know, it may feel a bit uncomfortable, but yeah, over time it's natural. It's natural. But I guess it all leads up to what motivates us, what drives us, what makes life worth living in a sense, or what brings meaning to life as much as we should want, you know. We want a life worth living. We should want that. And you know, it's a matter of discovery or self-discovery, because you know, we're not necessarily given a lot of time now to discover ourselves, or it's so easy now, better yet, it's easier now to get distracted and get pulled away from figuring out who you are or where you want to go or where your attention goes. It's so easy to get distracted now. I even find myself now being distracted where it's like, okay, I gotta chill. I've been on this too long. Let me relax. Let me just shut it off and just read on my thoughts. And that's truly where I feel like I am the most at ease, at most tranquil, at peace, I guess you can say. Where it's like there's no noise, there's nothing. Just me here, present, right here, just focused on whatever it is. And that's where you can truly just ask yourself questions. You know, whatever the answer may be, you may not know for a while, but there's other things you have to discover too, and it's a process, because it's not necessarily you'll instantly know. It's just trial and error, and the more you figure out about just experience, like just life, just doing, seeing, and being in the present moment, you'll understand, like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, you know, and I love this, I want to keep doing this. Or even so, sometimes your mind may say that looks interesting, or I've always had an interest in this. Just go for it. See where your curiosity takes you, because it can take you in the most random spots possible, as it took me with this. I'm not naturally want to speak, I guess you can say, outrovert, outgoing, like all that. You know, you would think like someone who's on YouTube is like someone who likes putting themselves out there, likes, you know, being expressive and things like that. And I do like expressing myself, but at the same time, I am very to myself. I just stay to myself. And I do got people I'm close to, and just, you know, it's a vibe. It's cool. But for the most part, it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like what leads us away from just finding what means something to us, or what makes us, you know, us, or even so what we want to become, is just constant distraction and constant expectation of other people. Just constant expectation of what we should do, who we should be, what we should achieve, and attaching ourselves to that, when in reality it's not our own standard, it's not our own structure or our own plan. So it may feel like, sure, they got this set out for me, but it's not truly for me. It's not truly mine. It's something someone just gave to me or put upon me, and it's like that, you know, whether it aligns with you or not, that's on you. But if it doesn't, it's like, why would you follow it? It may be a solid plan, you know, maybe a solid plan, but at the same time, I feel like it eats away at you the longer you keep doing something you don't want to do. And I feel as if we all know it's something I don't want to do. And it eats away at us. And sometimes we may have to carry that burden for a while. For example, let's say a job you hate, but it pays well. you're gonna have to carry that burden for a while until you find, either you get a certain amount of money that you want to reach, or you find a different spot with whatever benefits you are looking for. Sometimes we have to endure, some hardships in order to see the growth and the opportunities that show up. And it's just small success after small success, seed after seed, and then next thing you know, it's a whole forest over time. And that's the thing I've been battling too, time. Because it's crazy to think that, like, sure, I'm 22 now, like, I just turned it not too long ago. But at the same time, it's so crazy to think about that, like, that is so crazy to think, like, I'm 22. And that's wild to me. That's wild. At the same time, it's like, okay, whatever, but at the same time, I'm like, wow. And sure, there was a part of me that was like, I wish I would have done all this sooner, but I don't think I was in the right place or time or mindset to even try and do the things I am doing now. So it's like, sure, maybe we could have started sooner, but at the same time, it's like, would we have that same mentality to be able to keep up with it? Or even now, because I guess it's all living in the past or thinking about ourselves in the past and acting based upon that. But depending on who you are as a person, it's like maybe you got nothing to show that you can believe in yourself. So it's like, start now, build it brick by brick, and next thing you know, it's like it's constantly keeps going, and anything you want to try, it's like, okay, it's just another thing. Like, it's nothing grand, nothing like that. At first it may be because it's the first thing you're placing, but over time you kind of just live in reference to this constant positive growth. And that was the thing. It's like, maybe, who knows how things would have turned out if I started sooner or did things sooner or differently. It's all speculations that doesn't necessarily matter. Like, it never happened, but it's like, it's a bad place to think about if you really think about it. It's like, you're here now. Focus on what's here. Focus on you right now. Your body, mind, spirit, soul, whatever. Just focus on you and the people you care about and care about you. That's all that matters. Find things you care for. It may take a bit of time, patience, and energy, but that's what it all means eventually. That's all what it comes down to. That's all it comes down to. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You don't need to have some, I need to reach this by this. It's like that whole expectation of reaching this thing is like, that's what can also hold you back too, because you're so worried, you're overthinking about, how am I going to reach this, no, just do the action, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And even now, this is just more so for me too. It's like, I have to let go of that expectation. That if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Enough said. I can keep trying, and leave it at that. Just leave it at me doing the action, or me doing what I need to do in order to achieve it. And maybe over time, it happens. But it doesn't necessarily stop me from continuing. It's just another checkpoint. But at the same time, you also find time to relax, also find time to just put yourself at ease, decompress, sit in nature, go on walks, meditate, do yoga. There's so many ways. You don't have to sit on your phone. You could read, write, whatever it may be, that just kind of relaxes your body. I think I just want to leave it off there right now. That was a good talk. I enjoyed it. But on that, love you. See ya.